Yo, 1 2 1 2. All right, so we just gonna get to it, right? This is my dream, part 7 of my dream series. Um, so I'm inside of a. It seems like maybe a extension of the magician school that I was in before, but this was like in a different wing. It looked more like a classroom slash what do you call it? Um, like a classroom slash doctor room. So I'm sitting in there with homegirl, right? The girl of my dreams. We're gonna call her the girl of my dreams now, I guess. Alright. So I'm sitting in like I wouldn't say a chair like this, but I'm sitting in a chair. We're just gonna call it a chair, alright? And I got a pencil in my hand and I'm writing. I got my head down and I'm writing, right? I have no idea what I'm writing, by the way. Like I can't even recall what I was thinking to write while I was in the dream, but nonetheless, I was writing with my head down. And the girl is in there with me, and she's got a pencil in her hand too, but she's like twirling it from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Like biting on it here and there. I think maybe, maybe that's just my imagination running wild with me. But anyway, she's like twirling the pencil around, and she's like walking around me in circles, right? And each time she like brushes her body up against me. Now I can't recall any of the dialogue that we're having with each other, but all I can remember is that she's asking me questions about me, about myself. Now these weren't like interrogation type questions. Put it this way, they weren't questions about my past, like where did you grow up, or what did you go through as a child and stuff like that. It wasn't like intrusive. These were questions about like the current time in my life, somewhere along the lines of, so what do you like to do, or what is your hobbies, or what is, what makes you happy. I think that was one of the questions. It's very hard to remember what the dialogue was about between us, but she had like this big oversized real big sweater on, and she just kept walking around me in circles, but she kept brushing up on me every time she would circle me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, still writing, still working. And this is kind of rare for me because I was tolerating it. You know what I mean? Because when I get in work mode, I'm in work mode. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I guess I don't like people disturbing me. It's the type shit what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But I was cool with her being around. You know what I'm saying? And not for nothing though, like I was in there like on some real stern Saturn type shit. You know what I mean? But every brush up against me, I was just like, you know how it is. You know what I mean? A woman's touch or whatever the case may be. But I'm still on my hard body shit or whatever. Writing. Again, I don't know what the fuck I'm writing there. So then this guy comes into the classroom slash doctor's office, and Hispanic dude, I say he's about my height, about 5'9", 5'10". Hispanic, black hair, about my size too. So he comes in, right, and he addresses her. Now, mind you, I told you I got my head down, I'm writing, right? He approaches her. He sees me though, he's close enough to see me or whatever the case may be. So he was like, I could just tell that he liked her. You know how you could just instantly tell. I'm reading a lot of body language in this dream. So I could tell that he liked her, you know what I mean? And so he approached her and he was like, hey, how you doing? That type of shit. He was like, so I forgot exactly what he said too, but it was somewhere along the lines of him like hinting how he liked her, And again, like I'm writing, but at the same time, like I told you, I don't know what I'm writing. So what I'm really doing is like I'm ear hustling. I'm eavesdropping and I'm ear hustling. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear what they're talking about, and at the same time, I'm like glancing from here and there at both of them to read their body language, to pick up on cues of the body, despite what they may be saying to each other. So I'm being pretty investigative on that level. So she diverted the conversation towards me. She was like, no, I'm here with him, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she made it very clear, like, I'm here with him. So I'm looking, I'm like, you know what I mean? They don't even see me looking at them from time to time. I'm veering over side to side. You know what I'm saying? Is it real? Is it not? Type shit. She was like, but she didn't lose her composure. Like, she didn't get upset or like appalled by him coming on to her, whatever the case may be. And he wasn't aggressive with it either. He was like a smooth cat. He was like, you know what I mean? He was trying to smooth her over type shit. And she was just like, no, I'm here with him. You know what I mean? I'm here with him. So then he said, so he said something like, oh, like, my bad, I couldn't tell. But that was like a hint to be like, well, he don't look like he here with you. He don't look like he, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are item or whatever the case may be. Because I wasn't all over her. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself while I'm hearing this, I'm like, nigga, we in a school. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever this place is, this looks like a place of business to me. Not saying that but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm telling myself in my head. But I'm not aggravated. I'm just like, all right, you know what I mean? He likes her. He wants her. That's cool. It's understandable. She's fucking gorgeous. You know what I mean? I didn't say that. I'm just talking to myself. So, yeah, he was like, well, I couldn't tell because, you know, it doesn't look like you're with him. And she was like, no, I'm here with him. So then he said, oh, so he got you here. She was like, yep. So he was like, all right, and like bowed out gracefully. You know what I mean? He walks away. So now we chilling. She's still walking around me, brushing up against me and shit. Two, I guess you could say, counselors or teachers, they had on those doctor jackets. So I'm going to say they were doctors. You know, those white coats that they be wearing. Now, they could be like lab jackets, to be honest with you. I'm going to get to that in a minute of why I think that. So one of them's a woman, the other one is a man. The man, he's a black man, and, you know, I don't mean to judge, but from my first impression, I just discerned he was gay. I discerned he was a homosexual, right? Because of his mannerisms, the way that he spoke, the tone of his voice, he just gave me that impression. I didn't say nothing, I'm just telling you what I saw, what I observed, right? So the two of them is like they knew homegirl. Like they had a relationship. I don't know who the fuck these people are. But they start talking to each other. Now, mind you, she on this side over here, they on this side over here, right? And it's like they having a conversation about me, and I'm sitting right there. So you know what I'm saying? You know how those comedy videos and shit, they be like, I'm sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, that's what I'm saying to myself. Like, how y'all having a conversation about me? I'm sitting right here, B. But again, I guess pretending to be writing, or, you know, I'm doing my work, whatever. So I'm paying them no mind like that either. I'm staying real composed in this dream. I'm real stern in this dream. So the dude, he like, so they talking about me, and then he comes out. I don't remember all of the details of what they was talking about me about, but it was along the lines of they knew that me and her had something going on. To what extent, I don't know. I never divulged any information to them to let them know that. So I'm gathering that she must have told them about something, you know. So they having that type of conversation, and then he comes out and he says, he's tough. And then he follows up and he says, he's gay. And then, so I'm listening, right? And I'm just like, I'm not laughing though, you know what I mean? I'm slightly irritated, but I don't react because I know I'm not gay. So, but I'm listening and I'm just like, so now Shorty, she intervenes and she was like, no, some think he's gay because he's disengaged. Those were exact words. I know I heard that clearly. So, you know, I glance at her and I'm just like, okay. Like, she's very protective of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm noticing this the more and more that I'm having dreams about her. Like, so I don't know, it reminds me of a wolf. You know, like a female wolf, she'll put her head in front of the male wolf's neck during a threat or an attack to block the throat chakra of the male wolf. So because predators usually go for the wolf's throat to go for the quickest kill that they possibly can. So it's like she comes across that type of way in these dreams I'm seeing. Like she like comes from the side a lot. Like she, you know what I mean? Like she's just there. Like, but again, she's composed. Like she's not getting angry. She's not getting upset. She's non-reactive as well. She just is conversing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she said. No, they think he's gay because he's disengaged. So now I'm connecting the dots. I'm like, okay, homeboy felt that he could talk to her, you know, kick it to her, whatever the case may be, because I'm not like all over her, hugging her, whatever the case may be. Now this person comes in and he's like, oh, he's tough. Oh no, he's gay. And I think what was being said there is that I'm overcompensating in some type of way with this steely demeanor, and that means that I'm gay because I'm too tough or some shit like that, right? So I'm connecting all of these dots, mind you, because before he even came on the scene, she's like circling around me and brushing up against me. That like softens a person, you know what I'm saying? It takes him out of the element of being so hard. Pause. Right? So I'm getting it as we go along. But at first it's real fuzzy to me. I'm like in a state of limbo because it's the beginning of the dream and I don't even totally know what the fuck's going on. I don't even know why I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, like I said, slightly irritated, but I know I'm not gay. I'm not tripping. Right? So, okay, cool. Now, what happens after that is this little boy enters the room. It was like 3 or 4 children that entered the room. But I don't see these children yet. I could just hear, you know, you hear the footsteps running behind. You know what I'm saying? They come piling into the place. So now I'm under the impression that, okay, this is like a center of some type. And it's probably for these children. Because I hear the children yelling, teacher, teacher. They're calling homegirl teacher. So I'm like, okay. So one of the little kids, right? I'm still sitting in my chair, so I feel this whizzing around my leg. Like, this kid is running laps around my leg, right? Vroom, 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 vroom. Now, again, I'm being irritated, slightly irritated, right? But it's growing because he's just nonstop with it. He's just gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see this little kid. But that's how little he is. But I don't really realize that because, again, I'm hard at work, pause. But I'm hard at work. Again, I don't know what the fuck I'm working on. But it's like I'm not allowing my concentration to be broken. But this kid, man, he was doing the fucking marathon around my shit, right? So I did what any, I guess you could say, big brother or parent that, you know how parents could be just ruthless and relentless sometimes to children, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to get a laugh or something like that. So I placed my hand on the kid's head to like stop him from running, like I was holding him in place, right? So we could be fucked up sometimes, but I'm holding him in place by his face, like, and he can't run no more, right? So I stopped him from running. Now shorty, she right next to me, right? So she kneels down to like show the kid some affection. You know what I'm saying? She's softening him up, boy. But when she's doing it, she's softening me up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she's like not so far to go like, oh, adorable, but just, you know, showing him affection, showing him endearment. So when she knelt down, I'm realizing like, yo, first of all, why is she kneeling down? Second of all, why is my hand way down here on this kid's face? Like, how tall is this kid? Right? So I decide to look down. This kid, he's a fucking adorable, by the way. This little boy, black little boy, like African American, how, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know. He's one of us. So I look at this kid, right? He's like 2 feet tall, B. No bullshit. He's like 2 feet tall, if that. And he got on like this little sweater vest. He got the button up on with the tie on it. He got some brown corduroys on, some Scooby-Doos on. I'm just like, yo, the hard bottom joints. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So he just, he got slanted eyes, real adorable kid, yo. And then he like kneels down with her and puts his rests his arms over his knee, and he poses like he's taking a picture. And I'm just like, I'm cracking up at this shit, right? But now I'm realizing like, oh shit, we're in a place, we're like in a center for the gifted. It's felt like Professor X and them, the X-Men, in their school, the mutant school. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, because I've never seen no shit like that before in my life. Like, he was shorter than a midget, and I know he was a little kid though. You could tell he was a little kid, but he was short, B, because he fit. He could run under my chair. He could run. He was running like under the size of this chair. He was like Groot from Guardians. That's what he reminded me of. No bullshit. So he gets up after the pose, takes off running, right? So I'm like, okay, now it's coming to my realization of where we're at, or the type of scene, the type of setting that we're in. So then, what happens next? I get up, right? I get up and I walk to another chair, but this chair is more like it's more like a love seat. So, the arms of the chair are bigger and stuff like that. It's leather, it's cushioned, brown joint. So I sit on it. Now, homegirl, she come to the right side of the chair, sits down on the arm of the chair next to me, and like does one of these, you know what I'm saying? Wraps her arm around my head type shit. One of those, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. So we like, I guess you could say, cuddled up at this point. Mind you, I'm not cuddling though. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in this like stern positioning, but she's not having it. She's I guess you could say, adamant about being soft with me, and like, you know what I'm saying? And so we're sitting there, we chilling. Another kid comes up to me and just like crawls up into the other side, to this side of the love seat, right? And he like crawls up under my arm and shit, and he's like headbutting my armpit type shit, right? So I still got my pencil in hand, I still got some papers with me and shit. I'm still trying to concentrate on my work, and here this kid goes, right? But I'm not irritated at all by this kid. But the black doctor dude who had something sassy to say about me, right? I guess that's the word everyone's using now. He comes back into the fold. I can't really see him, but I could feel his presence. And he said, God damn, man, why these kids gotta be acting like that these days? So he's now insinuating that this little kid is gay. This little boy is gay. Now this boy, he's, I would say, regular boy height. But he's crawled up under me. So this is what has this doctor stating that. And now it's dawning on me. I'm just like, that's too strong of a conviction to be placing on this little kid. I'm like, yo, because I'm thinking, like, I remember being young and my father like picking me up and, you know what I mean, throwing me in the air, kissing me, hugging me and shit like that. And I've seen other fathers play with it, and not only like fathers, but like uncles and close peers of the family and stuff like that, showing affection to little children. I'm like, this is a little bit out of hand. I'm like, you being, in my mind, I'm like, he's just being extra. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, it's a bit uncalled for. You know, kids, that's what kids do. They jump up on couches and they fucking headbutt your ribs and shit like that, crawl up under you until they run off and bounce to another chair or couch on their next adventure. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those, B. It was, and I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, dude's being extra, B. But at the same time, right, like, the kid, he's like I said, he's like, got his head like up against my arm and stuff like that. So I looked at the top of his head. He got like auburn dye in his hair. It's like the spray dye though. Like, I know the difference. It's not the one that you really dye in your hair. It's the spray on dye. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now at this point, I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Because slightly irritated, because I don't like fucking up my clothes. You know what I'm saying? So, but I realize, I got a black sweater on and shit, and I'm just like, Man, he's just a fucking kid, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what kids do. If you're gonna be around kids, you're gonna get messy. It's like a given. So I'm just like, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Gradually, I become softened up during this dream. I guess I should make those points as I'm going along, because that's what my conclusion was at the end anyway. So I just let the kid continue doing his thing. I ignored the doctor dude. I ain't had nothing to say to him either, though. I wasn't like, yo, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And I ain't tell a little shorty, like, yo, get the fuck off me, little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just chilling. He was being a fucking kid. Like 3 seconds later, he did exactly what I said. He jumped up, he hopped up, and, you know, kids all big-headed and shit, they run off into their next adventure. And that's exactly what he did. So... Shorty, she's still by my side or whatever the case may be. And another kid enters the room. Now this kid, he's more like, he's a Hispanic kid. I'd say he about probably 9 or 10 years old, right? And he ain't got no shirt on, he ain't got no pants on, he in his slingshots, like, you know what I'm saying? But come to find out, he was getting prepared to go inside of this, like, I want to say x-ray room, but it was more than that. This shit was like an experimental room maybe, or something that measured, it was like a test. Something that measured someone in it, like, it was like a hydraulic system. It was like water inside of it. It sounded like a washing machine was inside of it. You know that sound that the washing machine makes, and you could look through the glass windows and you could see like water pressured against the glass as this rotation device, I guess, made its noise. So he's preparing to go in there. I'm like, okay. So he stops. He got like black hair down the hair, curly shit. And by looking at this kid, now I got like my psychology lenses on type shit, and I'm just like, I could tell this kid has channeling abilities, and it goes a little bit beyond that, like, you know, psychologists or psychiatrists, they will call it a mental condition. They will call it, it's not schiz. It's not that far gone. It's not schizophrenia. It's more like multiple personality disorder. But to me, it was just like he has personality. That's what I would call it, something else. I would say maybe he has a Gemini moon or something like that, you know, or Gemini midhaven or something like that. He just has character that can change in an instant. So he's having a conversation with us, right? He's telling us a story, and he's just like, sounds real intelligent, like super intelligent for his age. Conversing with, he's really just telling us a story. We're just listening to him. So he's articulating himself real well. And he has this look on his face that's different from the look that he's about to switch into. It's like he morphed into a totally different person. So when that shift happened, I seen his face changed as well. His facial expression and everything. Now he's ignorant. But he's continuing the same story that he was telling us. But now he's ignorant, and he's just like hood with it. And he's like, you know, moving his hands more. And he's like hyper, little ADHD. Hyper. I'm going to call it hyper. Like bouncing back and forth and shit. Like, and I remember him saying like, so then he was like, so then this bitch, right? It just came out, and then this bitch. So me and her, we start cracking the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Whoever this bitch was, like, he did not like this bitch, right? So he's telling us a story. He's like, yeah, so this bitch, da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay. And he was like, oh, I gotta go. So then he darts off into this room that I was talking about that had like this hydraulic water pressure system going on, right? He runs into there. The machine comes on. You can see the water like pressured against the glass. I don't hear no screams like something painful is going on or anything like that, but I don't distinctively know what that room was for. I'm under the impression that it was for testing and measuring results and stuff like that. So when he left, I'm like, I put down the pencil finally, and I'm just like, I guess you could say like laying up in the titties a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, I'm so glad I'm so glad they don't give these kids medicine. And that was it. So, you know, I came to the full realization that I guess I knew what I was doing there. Not what my role was, maybe. Maybe I ran a joint. Who the fuck knows? But I knew that I was there to observe, kids who are special, but gifted special. You know what I'm saying? Not fucking retarded or need fucking to be shot up with whatever the fuck Thorazine or riddled with fucking Ambiens and Ritalin and all of that shit. Like, nah. These kids were just special kids, and because they were young, right? Around the age where they were still impressionable, they had the opportunity to hone those gifts without being corrupted or being told that something's wrong with them, right? So that they'll suppress those gifts and not be able to, heighten them and grow into who they truly are and not be conformed into what society thinks they should be. Yeah. So that was it. I don't really have any more for that except for, I just know that I was being softened up in this dream. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it was for the purpose of exactly what I was saying. Like, don't come at the kids and be like, yo, shut the fuck up, kid. Or, you know what I mean? Get out of here. Or, you know what I mean? It was just like, I'm thinking it was for the purposes of that. You know what I'm saying? But if you observed something from listening to this that I may have skipped over or didn't analyze, get in the comment section. You're free to express yourself here, especially when it comes to these dreams videos. And until next time, I'm out.